What is going on, YouTube? Over the next several weeks, I will be sharing the inspiration behind every short story in my book, The Crumbling of a Nation and Other Stories, along with short sneak peeks of each of those stories. And today we are going over the opening story, Tommy Longhorn. In short, the story is about an extraterrestrial being named Tommy Longhorn who has been sent to Earth to live among human beings. Meanwhile, the US Space Force is actively searching the stars for any threat to the United States of America. And so while on the surface this looks like a story of just an alien coming to Earth, at its core it is asking a much deeper question. What are the real threats to America? Are they external or are they internal? And if we are only looking external for our threats, what threats internally are we missing? With everything that is currently going on here in America, this story feels even more important. Because not only do we have a president who is actively scapegoating all of America's problems on immigrants, but we have millions of people who believe him. While the very real issues happening here in America remain. Gun violence, corporate greed, homelessness, political corruption, healthcare, and so many other things that are completely ignored. Instead of looking internal, we are looking external. We are looking at the stars and blaming all of those aliens. And so while again on its surface this looks like just a fun sci-fi story, a story like Hitchhikers of the Galaxy that is just a funny space exploration, but as you reach the climax of the story you realize that this is not just some fun sci-fi story. You realize what this story is really about. And that is why I feel like it is a very good opening for this collection, as it leads into the stories that cover the real issues of America. With all that being said, here is a sneak peek of the story. Approaching the Milky Way galaxy at a speed once thought to be impossible is a ship captained by an extraterrestrial being whose name is best translated into the English language as Tommy Longhorn. And a telescope manned by the highest ranking squadron in the US Space Force is aimed directly at it. It is the sighting these soldiers have waited their entire careers for, a real-life UFO. The telescope they are looking through is attached to a high-powered astro blaster created to shoot down any extraterrestrial threat to their nation of birth, the United States of America. However, the soldiers do not shoot, nor do they even flinch at the sight of the ship, for they are unable to see it for what it truly is. You see, Tommy Longhorn, the extraterrestrial captain of the ship, has turned the exterior camouflage setting to the on position. As a result, the soldiers see in the ship's place just a tiny speck of space dust. "Rotate!" commands the general, and so the soldiers angle their astro blaster a single degree to the right, a procedure that takes the entire squadron and several minutes to accomplish. And with that tiny movement, the speck of space dust that is, in actuality, an extraterrestrial ship nearly 3 square miles in size, vanishes from sight. "Oorah!" says the general. "Oorah!" say the soldiers in unison, and together, the squadron studies every inch of the new piece of space now visible to them for any potential threat to the United States of America, though all they see is space dust. If you would like to hear this story in its entirety, my book, The Crumbling of a Nation and Other Stories, is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, the TikTok Shop, and Audible. And if you want to continue to hear sneak peeks and the inspirations behind each of these stories, make sure you hit subscribe.